Welcome to our very late 50 Shades of Grey DVD review. I was fortunate enough to get this DVD rental for free, so I have not seen the unrated version. So this specifically will just deal with our review of 50 Shades of Grey. Let me introduce myself. My name is Jose, and this is my brother Daniel.
Howdy.
And this movie is ideally for... I think this movie appeals to two different kinds of people. It appeals to people who read the book and like the book, be it male or female, and that's fine. But in my case, since I never did read the book, and I didn't actually like this movie for a number of reasons, but I'll just state briefly some spoilers to the movie, so if you haven't seen it and you really do want to see it, but you want just a summary of it, I'm here to provide it for you. This movie is about Anastasia Steele, a soon-to-be college graduate who meets this really famous, powerful business guy. I'm assuming he does some sort of business because nothing is ever explained in the book. In the movie. So I don't know exactly what he does. But allegedly there's some sort of chemistry between them that causes Christian to be so compelled to pursue her, and that he does. So he pursues her, he buys her stuff, then he just takes her virginity because she's a virgin, and there's some really bad lines in this movie. I won't go into any of those lines, but I pretty much think this movie conveys the message that if you have money, no matter how creepy you are towards the person you pursuing, it's okay to be rude, it's okay to be forceful, and it's okay to have domination over your sexual partner. We're not talking about domination in bed, we're talking about domination over every aspect of her life. That is my opinion of the movie itself. And without going into too many details about what I feel the movie is about, what message it conveys, I think that it's sad that this is allegedly a romance when I didn't feel like there was a romantic connection at any point between these two characters. That's what I think. Those are my only points I want to get across. The sex scenes were very bland, in my opinion. They weren't very exciting. I didn't feel like they had chemistry, and that's it. What did you think, Dale? What points do you want to get across?
Well, for me, the point I want to get across is that, for me, the whole interaction with Christian and Anastasia, it's very childish, actually. It is that she is, I guess the filmmakers, they're trying to give you a dumbed-down version of what romance, quote-unquote, is. Now, for this type of, romance, it's supposed to see, it's for what he's doing, he's pretty much stalking her, he's controlling her. That's, quote-unquote, what we're trying to feed our generation of he's, quote-unquote, wooing her. Now, and for that's actually just very simplistic, and there's no depth in there. Like you said, there's no connection, and there's nothing there. It's just, they say actions speak louder than words. His actions speak that I just want her, and that's it. But there's no romanticism there. There's no connection there. It's just one person pursuing another, and she's like, okay, all right, cool, let's do this. All right, let's do that. So, and these people just don't seem compatible to me, and it's just a dumbed down fairy tale. That's all what it comes down to me. And and Christian, he's pretty much just the way he's set up in the movie. It's pretty much like a dumb jock, a dumb high school jock. All his actions sort of reminded me of a dumb high school jock. Now, what did you think about about how Christian was able to, quote unquote, rule her in the movie? What do you think about that?
Well, I think that from what I saw, because I saw the movie maybe 2 weeks ago, what I felt in the movie was that there was a certain lack of chemistry, like I said before, a lack of chemistry between the two actors, so I didn't believe that she had this magical anything to her. There was nothing special about her, and she even said there's nothing special about me, but he's like, no, I guess he had this sort of weird sense that she was going to be this fragile little thing he could corrupt and shape, and it turns out she was corrupting and shaping her in the movie into making her what he wanted. Like he's going to dictate to her what she eats, how she works out, how she can't drink that much liquor. These are all points discussed in the movie. I don't think that any strong woman, and I'm not insulting anybody who likes this movie, anyone who likes the movie, it's perfectly fine. Because guess what? If there was a rich guy, or woman, depending on what sex you are watching this, and this rich guy or woman wanted you, and all you had to do was sign over your life, and you were okay with that, then that's great. That's a wonderful fantasy for you if that's what you wanted. But he is emotionally abusive to her. He's emotionally abusive to her to the point where she says, "Can you spend the night?" And he says no. He says no to her. He says, "I don't do that kind of thing." But then you see him doing the exact opposite throughout the movie. He's being affectionate. He's like hugging. He's almost hugging her. He's carrying her like from the bedroom, like she's like completely naked. He's carrying her from the bedroom in like this weird blanket type scene, and every time he sees her, he gives her a kiss. And that's not someone who says strictly, "I just want you for sex." He says, "You have to be available for me sexually to fulfill my needs." He doesn't say these lines, but that's exactly what he says. We wouldn't have a normal relationship. We would have a strictly sexual relationship where you would be pleasing me. Now, like I said, if you are into that kind of fantasy, then hey, wonderful. But the chemistry between these two actors is terrible. Like, horrible. I did not believe for 1 second that she was into him. Even when she was naked. Even when she was, like kissing him. I did not believe the kiss. I did not believe the kissing. I did not believe the sex. None of it. I believed that this movie was too long for its own good. I believed that the way she was reeled into him as a character was because he had money, because he took her on the helicopter ride, because he took her in her fancy car, because he bought her a new car, because he said, "This is what I think you should be driving." So that is what I think of the movie, that he bought her. He bought her, which means he owned her, and that's exactly what his character represents. If you have enough money, you can do whatever you want. That's what I feel is a representation of his character and how it is in this romance movie. Again, if you like this movie for the fantasy it conveys, fantastic. I didn't like it. I thought it was horrible.
Yeah, I have to agree too, and I think that it is. I think it's just a pretty pretty cheap manipulation on his part. He found someone who's naive, and he's just pretty much manipulating her, and she's trying to change him. And I think whenever you see those scenes where he's like from 50 Shades of Punk, he's just telling her what she wants to hear, and that's I think that's all he's doing. That's how he's doing it throughout the whole movie. I don't really buy the fact that he was quote unquote abused by that woman. He was so bad, stuff like that. I really think that if he was really that damaged, I would feel that he would have done more psychological damage to her, more malicious damage, as opposed to just the very simple stuff. Because I felt like this was very childish he was doing with her, and I can't really see how he become a head of business. It's not very believable.
I guess that's why. I guess that's why that's a fantasy movie. My last thought about this movie is that if you like the book, you'll love the movie. If you really are brought into this movie because you're on a date with your girlfriend, a girl that you like, you might feel uncomfortable with the material. I don't know. But if you're a guy, this isn't the kind of movie that you might like, unless you're into you like romance novels that are disguised as romance novels, but they really aren't, are a romance movie. So this, I don't know. I give this movie 1 star out of 5. It only gets 1 star because there's some good music in it, so the music fits the mood, whatever. But that's it. What rating do you give it?
I give it one star too, because a lot of the battle it's really laughable. It's not very believable, and it's just too very fantastic. It's too much. It's way too much of a fantasy. Not too fantasy to a point where you could see this could happen. It's too fantasy to a point where it's just too unbelievable that I don't buy it.
Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Have a great movie experience when you get there.